it's a strategy that we can have, we're leveraging today in real estate, of having a negotiation. Seller concessions are basically credits that we ask a seller of a property to give us as a buyer, to be able to cover your loan costs, your title costs, your escrows, right? So if we have credits being given by a seller as an incentive to buy their particular property, you can then use that money to cover, bring down the amount of money you need to put down for a home. Now, I want to be very, very, very clear. Those concessions cannot, I repeat this, cannot be used for the down payment, okay? So I know someone's gonna ask, someone's already told you, you might have misunderstood them. No. The way regulations work on loans, that is one of the guidelines that an interested party cannot contribute a specific amount, and then that specific amount, depending on the loan type and how much money down payment you're putting, can only be used for what I've mentioned: loan costs, which includes the lender's underwriting fees, buy down on the interest rate points, title fees, and the escrows, per diem, and stuff like that. So when you're looking at a federal mandated disclosure like a loan estimate or a closing disclosures, you're going to find these items, these costs, these charges on boxes A, B, and C. And letter D is going to be like the total, right? And then you also have the boxes on the right, E, F, and G, which break down any other additional charges or loan charges you'll have. So that is a huge advantage, because if you tell me, and this is a full hypothetical, right? If I'm buying a house and I have a $30,000 bill due at closing, even if I get $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, again, these numbers are fictitious and for educational purposes only. I'm just trying to illustrate what is potentially possible in today's market. If it's a $30,000 and you got 12,000, right? You now have less money to come to closing, right? So do the math: 30 minus 12, you get 18, right? 18,000 sounds a lot better than 30. Would you agree? I mean, and again, these numbers can be higher. These numbers can be a lot lower. I have situations right now that are slightly different than what I just illustrated. But again, I cannot emphasize this enough. This is for educational purposes. I want to just illustrate, give you a kind of illustration of what's potentially available, but your situation can be different. So it's very, very important. If you're in Arizona, call me. I am David Madrid with Infinite Lending, 602-380-4236. If you're outside of Arizona, you can still call me, but I'll have to refer you out to a colleague outside of licensed outside of Arizona, right? So, and I have plenty of connections in communities that I will potentially be able to connect with someone. So don't be afraid to reach out as well. All right, so we covered the down payment, your income, right? Your income sources, whether it's W-2, whether it's W-2 hourly, whether you're hourly, whether you're salary, whether you're piecework, whether your source of income is extremely important to be able to determine, what sources of income you have coming in, and how we're going to be able to calculate your income. So I'll give you a perfect example. A self-employed borrower, his income, the income of self-employed borrower is going to be calculated completely different than someone that's on a W-2. I won't go into the why, but federal law requires us to use, if you're schedule like a sole proprietor or LLC, you're going to see something on your tax returns called Schedule C. Lenders are going to be using Schedule C, line 31, however many LLCs you have, line 31, and then there is certain things we are able to add back as income. Talk to a mortgage professional to analyze your tax returns to see what your qualifying income is. W-2 is a little bit different. We're going to be using your most recent pay stubs that shows your year to date, and we're also potentially going to be using either 1 or 2 years of W-2s. If you got rental income, we can potentially use that as well. That's going to be on Schedule E. Again, everyone's situation is going to be analyzed completely different, that fits your specific situation. Okay, moving on, we got credit. Credit is extremely important because most lenders have a minimum requirement credit score. I've seen loans be done as low as 503. Okay. Now, those are riskier. They require certain guidelines. So for the most part, most loans, most lenders have a minimum credit requirement of 580 or above. Again, different programs have different guidelines. Talk to a mortgage professional to be able to understand what those requirements are going to be. So this is, again, for educational purposes only. I want to make sure that I give you this information for you guys to maybe take the action of being curious of, can buying a home be possible for me in 2025? And the answer is, well, talk to a mortgage consultant to determine whether it's a possibility or not. When we're looking at your credit, we're going to be looking at your monthly obligations. This is huge, okay? Monthly obligations that appear on your credit report. We're looking for auto loans. We're looking for your credit card payments. We're looking for installment loans. We're looking for the finance car that you did for I don't know who, right? We're looking at every single of your monthly obligations that appear on your credit report, and we're going to be using the monthly payments. The only time when a lender's analyzing, the balance is if we are needing to, our system automatically does this. However, this is where a good loan officer takes a look at this, is we look at, if you have $100 monthly payment on a debt that has $900 left and it's an installment loan, I mean, not a credit card, it's something that as soon as you pay that off, it's gone. Like it's no longer going to continue that recurring $100 payment. Then we can do something called omit, meaning that $100 just basically bumped up your purchasing power by, I don't know, $12,000 to $15,000 more, right? So it's very, very important that we take a look at that. There is certain restrictions with certain loans that require it doesn't exceed a specific amount. So be very careful. Again, talk to a mortgage professional about that. If you're in Arizona, I invite you to shoot me a text message or find me on all my social media platforms as Mortgages by Madrid. Shoot me a DM. Let's start that conversation of curiosity. If you want to just give me a call or shoot me a text message, my phone number is going to be 602-380-4236. All right, moving on. When we're looking at collections, you got charge-offs, we got medical bills, we got foreclosures, bankruptcies. Those are all derogatory items, and all of them have different requirements for seasoning periods. For example, like bankruptcies, Chapter 13, Chapter 7, Chapter 11, all of those have different seasoning periods, and that's going to be a different video that I strictly talk about that. But the seasoning periods are going to be different based on the loan program. So more lenient programs like FHA or VA would be, shorter of a seasoning period for some of those items. So those are the things we're looking at when it comes to your credit report. We're also looking for duplicate Social Security numbers, like fraud alerts. We're looking for all of the things that appear on a credit report to ensure that you are going to have a seamless experience when it comes to buying a home. And lastly, as part of my DICE conversation, is employment history. And that it touches back on the income, but employment history is very, very important. Lenders are looking at making sure that you have the stability to be able to, make their mortgage payments. We, as loan officers and lenders, the last thing we want to do is put you into a home where, without having the stability of it, 6 months or, a year from now, you're no longer in the home, right? That's not ideal. That's not what we're looking to do. So when a lender is analyzing that, they want to make sure that you have the stability. to sustain homeownership. So those are the things, kind of the big picture. There is so many moving parts when it comes to lending that, there's guidelines, books and books and books of guidelines that we have to think for us in the lending space. We have automated underwriting systems that are basically run by algorithms, calculating everything. If not, we would still be manually filling applications, faxing them, like some people did in the early 2000s. So, I wanted to share this success story with you guys because I know there's a ton of people that should be buying a home right now, and it's not a I don't want you to take this as a fear base, like homeownership still going to be there next year, hopefully. Things could change. I could go on a different subject on this, but you're going to continue to pay for housing, okay? Renting it is not bad, and I don't want you to misunderstand that or misinterpret that as well, okay? It comes from the heart. I want to make sure that I help the people that see themselves that want to buy a home in 2025. This is why I'm making these videos. If you don't see yourself buying a home, listen, don't comment. You're good. You don't need to buy a house. You're good. I promise you. You're good. If you see yourself owning a home, I invite you to connect with a mortgage professional. Again, last time I say this, if you're in Arizona, call me. My name is David Madrid with Infinite Lending. My phone number is 602-380-4236. If you're outside of Arizona, if you do reach out to me or find me on social media at Mortgages by Madrid across every platform out there, I will take that back. No, not all the platforms. Just the major ones: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Google. You can Google, check out our reviews to get more information. But if you do reach out to me and you're not, in Arizona, I will have to outsource. I will have to send this to someone outside. That way they're able to, give you educated, provide you information for you to make an educated decision, right? So I am only licensed in the state of Arizona. I've had 23 licenses. It's tough to do a lot of that. So set a step back. I want to focus on my home state, and just educating and empowering future homeowners. So there you have it. That's all I have for today. I intend to do these videos more frequently. Today I have an appointment. Oh, I actually gotta go. I'm running late for an appointment. So, hey guys, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys found this valuable. Stay tuned for more information and more videos coming from David at Infinite Lending. Have a great one.